Now if you've got questions in life, what do you do? Ask Keith and Derek.
Hi and welcome to this episode of Ask Keith. And if you've not guessed it already, we're going to review what happened last year in 2020. Now then, Ask Keith didn't begin just in lockdown, it began several years earlier. And so I just want to have a brief history of Ask Keith and just inform you, my subscribers, so you know something about who we are, what we've been doing, where we came from. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's take a look at the history. Ask Keith actually began way back in 2018. As a matter of fact, it began in January 2018 and that's when it was formed. Now then, in February we had our first kind of detached work, going out there and telling people about God. Now then, here is a quote from one of the workers that was joining us out at that time. Natalie Ringham actually was a Youth for Christ volunteer, and this is what she commented on the detached work, and this is taken from the February newsletter of 2018. This is what she says: going into an environment where kids are seen as troublemakers is a challenge, but to see and have genuine conversations and planting seeds within these kids is utterly breathtaking. It is the beginning of a movement. Now then, I ask you, what is that movement? Well, to be honest, to be able to go out there and speak about God and tell young people about God, it's an awesome thing. And actually to be welcomed by these young people and they engage you with conversation, that's something quite rare. And we've been out there and we've been welcomed wherever we've gone. And so it's formed a movement what actually became Ask Keith. And so that's what Ask Keith was, that's what it was about. But this is how we've developed. In March of 2018, monthly newsletters were circulated. And in April, I was in schools and we developed what's known as Kahoot. It's a game that you can play. You can do it on your smart TV, you can do it on your devices, and you just log into this game and log into Ask Keith, and there's a few questionnaires that you can challenge one another and see who wins. And it's quite a wonderful game, especially when there's nothing else to do in schools, you can play it there. But that began in April of 2018 in schools. Now then, in May I began a 9-week scooter course in schools, and that run for 9 to 10 weeks. And it was quite profitable. A number of people attended that and it was a certificate at the end. And then we went into June. And during the time of June and onwards, philosophy and debate clubs were actually taking place in schools, and I ran them during lunch times. Now then, taking us into November of that year, at that time I met with a university professor. He was a professor in the science areas in university, and I wanted to talk to him about God, faith and science and some of the ideas and thoughts that I had about God, and I wanted to put them by him to make sure that whatever I was saying about God and science actually fitted in within the scientific world, and he confirmed many of those things. So I met with him then, and then in December it seemed that the work and the progress along with the finances started to fizzle out, and we actually lost momentum, and it looked like Ask Keith was the end about that point. However, going into 2019, this is how that developed. Right at the beginning in March, I was a guest speaker on the subject of the evidence for the existence of God. That was broadcast live, and that was one of the greatest things that we were doing at that time. However, we were having talks, so in June I came up with a proposal to work with Christian organisations to reach young people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Moving on, around about September I became self-employed, and I trade under the name Keith Ingham Mobile Ministry. And this was to continue the work of reaching out to young people and the things that we were doing with Ask Keith. Later on in November, we developed partnerships with Warrington Youth for Christ, and we were looking at raising funds to get a mobile skate park, a football cage and a cyber cafe to actually go out there, especially in the winter months, with a cafe and engage young people and let them come on board and talk about God. So those were the talks, and that was what we was doing then. Now then, that led us into last year. That's right, we're going to talk about 2020, everybody. What happened in 2020? Well, to start off, in January the detached work was yet again taking place in areas of the northwest of England, and that led into February, where we commenced with Warrington Youth for Christ the use of a mobile football cage, and that was going on for several weeks. Yet in March, as we all probably know, COVID-19 swept the nation, and local and national lockdowns and restrictions stopped the work that we were doing. That was a frustrating time, and that made me step up in what I was doing in 2020. And so, what happened then? Well, in April, our YouTube channel was created, and we was there to answer questions on the coronavirus and God. And in these videos, people were asking the kind of questions that related to, you know, where is God in all this? Is this the end times? Is Jesus coming back? And all these kind of things. And so I tried to answer those kind of questions on that, those videos that I was producing at that time. Now then, with regards to YouTube, these are the end of year reports from YouTube itself. Ask Keith. When 2020 went off script, you kept us inspired by uploading 575 minutes of content. Your hard work's worth celebrating. And so, let's just take a moment to actually look at those figures and reflect. You've taken the challenge of 2020 head on and kept our spirits high. Thanks for being a constant inspiration. Take a screenshot and use my year in review to share with your fans. So this is it. This is what we found. Viewers spent 5,391 minutes watching your videos in 2020. And fans couldn't get enough. We received 280 likes on those videos. From our first video uploaded until the end, fans smashed that like button. Now then, our community is growing. They left 41 comments and they shared our videos 111 times. Now then, keep those comments coming in. That's what we're about. We're about answering your questions. Viewers spend all that time watching our videos. Did you know that in 2020 we made it our own and we gained I think 95, although when YouTube sent us the figures, it was 81 subscribers, and we had 2,692 new views. Take a look at that, new people taking a look at what we're doing. So where did that take us? Well, like I said, with people thinking that it was the end times, I met with a radio frequency ID expert or a microchip expert out there, and I wanted to discuss the developments of the microchip. Why? Because some people were saying this is the mark of the beast, the Antichrist and that kind of thing, and so I created a few videos on that topic also. But it was in May where we also developed our website, www.askkeith or ask-keith.co.uk. You can check out our website. In June, our detached work actually began where we started a series, and that series we had 25 episodes all right up to Christmas Day itself, which took place on 25th of December. So our 25th episode was on 25th of December. How awesome was that? During which time we gave out hundreds of donuts, and not only that, we produced the following month a card to help people connect with us, and we gave out hundreds of those cards as well. And that led us into July. In July, we published, like I said, that card which helped people connect. In August, a merchandise store opened, and so you can purchase merchandise like this, which is, at the moment, this is God's Grace Book, and we also have these, which we wear out and about, just to make sure that we're keeping you safe, keeping ourselves safe. But they're out there on our website. You could check that out. Check out our merchandise store, and all the proceeds will go towards the work that we're doing. In September, what happened then? Oh yeah, I turned 50. I turned 50. Yes, I turned 50. We also visited Blackpool with Derek. I'm sorry Derek's not here today. He's actually resting up. He's a little bit lazy. This lockdown thing is eating too much, but there you go. In October, we produced my testimony video, how I came to know God in a real way. So if you've not seen it, check that one out. In November, we was actually out and about, preaching the gospel. We're, of all places, in Manchester. We met many homeless person out there at that time. And that led us into December. And so at the close of the year, we wanted to go out with a big bang, and so established a competition with big prizes to give away. And we actually gave out a t-shirt and some other merchandise. But we want to say thank you to all those who actually watched the videos and entered that competition. We also listened to you guys, and of all things, we've actually gone out and got more merch produced. Got this particular wristband here, we got pin badges. So we went on to Best Badge, which is a online store that actually produces pin badges, lanyards, wristbands, all kinds of stuff for your organisation or club. So we want to give them a bit of a shout out. Thanks to those who helped us and actually worked on our artwork. And like I said, we have these badges, and we also have, yes, these wristbands. So if you're out and about, ask us and we'll let you know how you can actually obtain one of these. The beauty about that store is that everything that you submit to them, and including the quote, is free. They'll do the free artwork and the quote, and so at the end of the day, that could cut down on a lot of the cost. So shout out Best Badges. And so that's the end of the year. I hope you liked this video, but don't forget, we also right now in 2021. So what's been happening, Keith? We've not heard from you. Where's Derek? Well, work has been continuing, and we've developed some courses that can be delivered in schools, churches and clubs. We're still working on them. And so in February, the production of section 1 of an evangelistic training course was complete, and that's now on sale. So if you go on our website, you can actually check that out and purchase that. And so, where are we going? March and onwards? Well, who knows? All I can say is the sky's the limit. Let me just say I've missed you guys. I've missed meeting you out there, seeing how you're getting on and see where you're up to, and challenging you about God. Hopefully I'll be out and about soon, but take care, God bless. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and see you soon.
Someone is at the front door.